useless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Box, the exciting show where we open a box and decide if the box rocks or if it's a box full of rocks.
I don't know if this is going to be a good episode.
It's been so long since we've done a watch-along, I forgot that there was a Godzilla vs. Kong clip there in the end, but it brought me much joy. And you know what this means? It means we're back, ladies
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for letting everyone know we were starting late because I had to.
Hey, man, I've been blamed for shit before, so, you know, it's all good.
Look, I just did a workout. I didn't want to be here all sweaty. Look, I'm not gonna bury the hatchet or skip,
you know. In the chat. Look at that. I love
Janine. You are so lovely and so talented. I love you so much. Come visit me in New York, babe. I've been going through some stuff. I am embarking on a new journey. My stuff's a little different.
Yours is definitely different. We just life has been weird.
The past few weeks have been stressful and intense and emotional, but it is a time of healing and growth, and I am ready to get back to watch-alongs and streaming. I live alone now with my pupper Luna. It's wild. So let's do this thing. How are you? Dude, what have you been going through? By the way, can I just take this opportunity to say, and I tell you all the time, the most recent matches, the questions have just been that horror exhibition match, amazing. The Top Gun exhibition match, superb. I'm super, super excited for the Inner Geekdom title match. Just great stuff you're doing over there with your questions, my guy.
I love you, man. That's where I've been. Too. You know that. Like, that's where I've been. I've been living in my hobbit hole, if you will, like working on stuff because there's been a lot going on, and I'm just so happy to take a break a little bit and hang out. And we're gonna watch Galaxy Quest tonight, and it's about to be a time. And I'm just happy to be here with you because it's been a little bit. But you know what else? We got some cool guests tonight.
We have dope guests.
They're not really guests, yeah.
They're not guests. They are members of the fold. But
one of them fun of us because we keep moving our hands.
Well, that's what this person is good at.
That's fair.
They are a awful human being who lives to torture me. But our first extra participant
is the one who likes to torture you, right?
No.
Oh, I just figured because this person doesn't come around very often anymore, that's the torture.
Oh, so he does torture me, and he still owes me a fruit basket, which I have yet to receive.
Exactly.
He has basically ghosted the network over the last, 2 months.
Yeah, he hates us. That's just how it is.
And yet,
he
has made his beautiful presence. And let me tell you, he is looking fine as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Pat Hogue.
Oh!
You know, Max,
Hogue.
It's kind of up to you in these kind of circumstances. If you want your fruit basket to have a variety of fruit, like such as strawberries, melons, cantaloupe, pineapple, you know, all the kind of the smorgasbord. But the more you kind of tack on like all the different comments and negatives, I'm just going to give you a cactus. All right. And I'm just going to sit there and watch you eat it because right now I'm here to see my friends, have a great time, come back to do a watch along that hasn't happened for so many people in so long. And it just feels like I'm getting dirt kicked in my face because you know what I'm doing?
Is this a bad time to say that I've ordered you a Best Actor trophy for Good Guy with a Gun from the first annual Cinemaxwell Awards?
It's definitely a contrast to the entire conversation we're having right now, but it does bring me joy. So
you know that everything I say about you is just good old fashioned like middle school pigtail pulling because I love you so much.
Oh no, it's the complete like you bully the person you have a crush on, and that's
I have a huge homosexual crush on you, Hogue.
Listen, it's not the label on the wine bottle. I just like wine. So in Max,
100%. That's what I'm saying. I like all kinds of wine. I would drink you up like a Zinfandel in the sun.
And PJ, you are a Four Loko that I just want to get me going raring for a night because
raring for a night.
I'm excited to be back.
Boy,
hi guys,
we are throwing off some serious queer energy tonight on the Pajukin. And speaking of queer energy, our next participant is very confused by that non sequitur, which has no meaning whatsoever. You know her, you love her. She has the longest grouping of
these words could go anywhere. Literally, this could mean like the possibilities for what you could say.
She has the longest plug in the game. Some affectionately call her the Schmo Ho. I call her Takara Kanashi. It's Amber.
Wait, real quick. Not to interrupt this. This is not an animal print. This is a Scary Movie Squad shirt.
This is merch.
This is merch.
Merch.
Come on now. I pulled out the classics. I knew this wasn't Scary Movie Squad, but I wanted to wear it tonight. Okay, well, that's awkward.
I can't with any of this.
Hey, you guys introduce Amber. I'll be right there.
But
how are you tonight, Amber?
I'm great. Apparently you had to shower before this. Is there any reason why?
You and I literally just finished a workout. You were there.
There was a lot of complaining.
It was very difficult.
On both ends. It's fine.
Oh, look at that. PJ,
look at that. I like that. No, I see it. That's a
this is my goal.
I'll say this. If he was truly one of us, he would have the new logo, not the old logo. But that's okay. Points for effort.
He tried. I got to give him credit where credit's due, at least.
I'm proud of you.
Happy to be back.
Okay.
Guys. Really.
Let's go through some show notes before we watch this movie.
Don't worry about these hecklers.
We're still sort of slowly finding our way back into the swing of things. I know we had talked before about how by May we're going to do one a week watch-alongs. That's not going to be the case, only because we have some patron watch-alongs to catch up on. As you know, April was really hard for us for a lot of different reasons. So every patron is getting 2 watch-alongs this month, and those are going to be the next ones coming up Monday, Friday, et cetera, et cetera. There is no Suddenly Soundtracks this week, but next week on May 26th, Suddenly Soundtracks is doing an off the record with, it looks like, the Beatles' Abbey Road. So that should be awesome as hell. We do have a new episode of Box coming up in the near future with this glorious key art that you can see here that'll drop before the end of the month. Apparently?
I'm just saying.
I mean, it looks like there's a rogue Swiftie on the thumbnail. I don't know.
Oh, rogue Swiftie.
A rogue Swiftie.
Thanks, BJ.
I know that Book Nook has been delayed many, many times. We have not yet picked a new date, but Book Nook 3 is coming soon. We will let you know as soon as that's scheduled.
Good, Rachel. Take your time. When you get it, you get it.
No rush.
Yeah,
no rush. That's really about it. Once Loki kicks off in June, we're going to be doing water cooler chats, but we're going to be doing our water cooler chats on Thursday nights because Loki airs on Wednesdays. And also for scheduling reasons, a certain it's better. Person over there is not really free on Saturday, so it works out for the best. We do have a Patreon. Check it out. See if there's a tier that's right for you. We owe you guys 2 commentary tracks. We're going to get those to you if you're a $10 and up patron.
Yep.
We are going to schedule a patron AMA probably next week or the week after before the month is over. Don't worry. As always, thank you for your support. And we have some incredible producer patrons. Our executive producers, the glorious, gorgeous Brandy Parker, Brandon Buckingham, Ricardo Franco, our gold producers, Sean Wingblade and Mike K, and all of our wonderful producers, Anton Putra, Beth Harris, a.k.a. Mama Harris, Chris Pokernoy, Ferris Muthana, who, can go fuck himself. Jeff Alterman, Jake Berlin, Molly Damon, Patricia Carrillo, Stephen White, Kale the Youth Critic, and Tyler Birch. I'm just kidding, Ferris. I love you as much as I love all of the people who give us money so we can come on camera and talk about nonsense.
Which is what we do all the time anyway.
Sorry, not to derail it, but like 2 minutes ago, Max, did you sneak a Godspell reference into the plugs you were doing? At some point, you said something, said "all for the best," and I thought you were doing like a musical because you like Broadway and all that. This is the energy I bring to the show, guys. Like this is all these
I'm so glad he's back.
hot, deep references.
Now, there's 2 quick things I want to discuss before we start the film. The first is this comment from Jesse that says, "Amber, Maxwell, do you know what we have to do for Book Nook?" Well, if you haven't read the Court of Thorn and Roses series, maybe pick some of those up and see if they're your jam, because we may be planning something to do with that. Also, this is not a movie news show. I am my own autocorrect, because when I type show on my phone, it changes it to shoe. So now when I try to say show, I say shoe. Hooray. I just want to like briefly address how excited I am that they're making Attack the Block 2.
Dude, right? I actually texted Maxwell.
Oh,
Did
I will
you not
be right
see
back.
that earlier?
No.
I legitimately brought it. Like they announced it today. John Boyega is coming back. They are making Attack the Block 2. And I texted Maxwell before we were going to do this. We'd already announced we were doing Galaxy Quest, but I was like, I almost wish we were changing tonight to do Attack the Block.
Shoot.
But I think we are going to do Attack the Block as a watch along very soon, because Attack the Block is fantastic.
Okay.
It was in my top 100 of the decade. I think that it was such a great directorial debut for Joe Cornish. John Boyega really came on the scene in that film. It's just the best, man. I love Attack the Block.
Darn. Hot dog. That's awesome. What a great surprising news to get at this moment. Wow.
I'm super curious because, I mean, as we know, like Boyega clearly didn't have like the world's best experience on the Star Wars sequels. He didn't have the best experience with Pacific Rim Uprising. So him deciding to return to any sort of sequel has to be for good reason at this point, especially one that he's now producing. So that gives me hope.
Well, and also Joe Cornish just like being so close to so many different franchises, almost being like, you know, from Bad Boys to Ant-Man to like all these different ones that now finally he gets a chance to like my franchise. Now I have a superstar to like lead this thing and be able to take it to next greater heights. I'm more confident as a director. Like, yeah, all right. Like, why don't I get it? Sequels are weird and all that, but just so many opportunities that I would love to see directors go back to an original IP and be like, this is mine. Let me do a sequel and
joke. You know, I saw Attack the Block in theaters opening weekend and was blown away by it. It's been a favorite of mine since it came out. And Joe Cornish is a filmmaker who I was always sort of surprised never got more of a career, because he's really only done The Kid Who Would Be King since Attack the Block, which is great.
Good movie.
If you haven't seen it, highly recommend The Kid Who Would Be King. Like Mike K said here in the chat. And you know, I think he produced Tintin, or maybe even co-wrote it. And I know he's worked with Edgar Wright on some stuff, but if you haven't seen Attack the Block, check it out. And I'm so excited for a sequel with an older John Boyega hanging out and screwing shit up. So just great news that really, really whet my whistle on this Monday, May 17th. Don't give me that look.
I will do what I want.
All right.
Whoa.
Well, with that, I don't know.
Brandy would like us to vamp for a few more minutes while she gets. Oh, she's back. Here we go.
We're good.
All right.
In the ground.
So
PJ
welcome.
and I last minute decided what movie we're going to watch. We wanted to watch something fun and funny to lighten the mood. And I am a huge fan of this movie. I think it is one of the most clever and funny movies of the last 30 years. Alan Rickman, Sigourney Weaver, Tony Shalhoub, Sam motherfucking Rockwell.
Directed by Dean Parasite, which doesn't get talked about a lot.
Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yep, as well as Red 2, I believe. Not Red, but he did Red 2. Not as good as the first, I don't think. But he's a fun filmmaker, man.
And I will say that for what it's worth, although Tim Allen as a human is suspect, he is brilliantly funny in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And look, you can never take the Santa Claus away from me. But
no, this or the Santa Claus.
So I'm super excited.
Oh, Garth coming in here. I was bummed when I found out that Sigourney Weaver's cleavage was a fake plastic piece.
I wasn't.
Well, how
She's
bummed
still
you're going to
gorgeous.
find out when I am just a disembodied head and everything from my neck down is a fake plastic piece.
So with that, we're going to start watching 1999's Galaxy Quest. As many have said, this is one of the best Star Trek films. Love letter to all things that is Star Trek, the series.
Justin Long!
Yes, sir. And I'm going to count down from 5. As soon as I say go, we're going to hit
I'm
play.
in a mood.
And we're
ready.
going to watch Galaxy Quest. Is everyone on the panel ready?
Oh, ready.
All right, guys. And we're going to start this bad boy in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And it really wouldn't be a watch long if
How
Dipper
much
wasn't
I
trying to
missed
bark at it.
you counting down while Dipper barked.
Yeah, Dipper's just over here being like, I'm going to make noise. Like he always
help
does.
you count down, Papa. Ready?
Hey,
1,
Pops, I
bark.
do what I want.
2, bark. This is a movie that like was in constant rotation on cable as a kid for me, and I just like have the distinct moments of like the rock monster in my head, but I had not seen this in 20 years.
I watch it at least once a year. I saw it in theaters with my dad. We used to have this ritual. My dad is a pretty fancy guy, but he always had a soft spot for Boston Market. So we'd go to Boston Market and then to the movies, and we saw this one on a special Boston Market day, and that's a good memory.
It's a great memory. Gotta be honest with you. I'm here for that memory.
Also, may Alan Rickman rest in peace.
Wands up.
Rickman.
Janine, if you want to join us, just say yeah, and I'll send you the link. Totally up to you, no pressure.
She's always invited. I freaking love Janine.
Also, did you see what Keon said? Listen here, Garth. I ran into her at the supermarket and she was still fine.
There you go.
Well, it ain't wrong. And he also said she towered over him. I was like, oh.
Keon is
just
not a
love
short
how they
man either.
shot this, by the way, like this whole opening being a 4x3, just like a TV show that was from the 60s, is so good, and it's such a brilliant setup for like. This is like such a love letter again to Star Trek. It just is so perfect.
But it's also at a time where doing like meta commentary about fan culture wasn't really like a hot thing to do. Like it talks about these actors kind of being being known for these roles, and like
Brandy, I'm only at a minute 51, minute 52, minute 53.
Sam Rockwell. You forget that he's like in everything in the like early 2000s and the late 90s, and you realize, oh no, he's been like a power player for years. He is
a brilliant actor, but I think his best performance is in The Way, Way Back. If you haven't seen that movie,
oh, great!
Please watch that movie. He's so great in that.
I haven't seen it. I need to see it.
Look, if you go and change my name to Waxwell in your phone, our friendship is over. I will not be called Waxwell. I'm a human man who is making a joke.
Wait, was that the word I just sent you?
No, that was to Brandy, who said she's going to change my name.
Max, we got to talk about what hills to die on.
This is a fun hill. Let him die on this hill. This is the fun
An interesting
one.
hill.
Personally, I'm in love with Sam Rockwell in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh,
He's
Jojo
so
Rabbit's a
perfect.
great movie.
Oh, it's so good.
That was a movie I sold my mom on watching the other night, where it's like, it's about a kid whose imaginary friend's Hitler, but it's funny. You should watch it.
I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, and then it happened, and I was like, this is magical.
As a Jew, I find the movie very cathartic and hilarious and magical. So
I love the makeup in this movie. Like the whole makeup headpiece on Alan Rickman is so incredible.
Hi, Dana.
And it makes me so happy. And the other thing that we need to talk about a little bit, most people know this now, but like this movie was shot as a R-rated comedy that was edited down to PG for people. And I kind of love that. I will be right back, guys. Give me just a moment.
Well, and you can kind of tell it has that extra edge to it that you wouldn't really see in kind of like a lot of these nostalgic movies about like old TV shows. But it's just kind of like, as somebody who never really watched original Star Trek, even I got that like, oh no, Tim Allen kind of has that William Shatner energy.
He's
and
sort of honestly perfect actor to cast for like William Shatner-esque, because he has that same sort of smarmy,
and it's like, it's not him doing Buzz Lightyear, which it could very easily be him just like reenacting that voice for another space commander.
Jake. What's up, Jake? Love you, buddy.
That might be the first time you didn't just say "fuck you, Jake" as soon as he came in.
I'm operating from a place of kindness tonight.
Oh. Are you running a fever?
No, I'm fine.
Just these actors are so overqualified for.
But that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, but it's also a really well written script. So
it is. It's so clever.
Which is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Amber.
I was talking about ice cream. I just realized there's ice cream in my freezer.
That's the go-to topic. Like, it circumvents everything else. If somebody's talking about, crises in the world, ice cream takes precedent.
I had some really good ice cream yesterday.
What flavor are we talking?
I had a chocolate vanilla swirl at the local ice cream shop, Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. It
was a classic.
Took a little walk over there. Sundays are my big cheat day.
A little walk.
Mm-hmm. What's up, PLD?
Yeah. Sundays are also my cheat day, along with Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. And Saturday. Amen. Yeah. I'm gonna go get that ice cream.
Just why do you like? And this is the thing that Bill and Ted Face the Music kind of had, is that the filmmaking felt a little more cinematic. Like, these compositions have depth, like film grain, like you can see it. Like, every room is filled with fog and has atmosphere. Like, it's just such a 90s feeling movie. Sigourney Weaver. What a perfect human being.
That sounds really good. An ice cream sandwich and poured salted caramel on it.
Oh. It's Alan Rickman doesn't really have the sci-fi equivalent, but he is Hans Gruber, which even he's got tired of. Like,
I mean, he was Snape. He was Snape.
True, he is the fantasy, like.
So I'm sure role. He was tired of.
It's like the Harrison Ford thing of, like, if you get enough iconic roles, you can't just get pigeonholed as one, type for your entire career. He's so young. Justin Long.
Baby Justin. Look, see, strawberry shortcake. Yay.
I love those strawberry shortcake bars, actually.
What a convenient question to ask at this very moment. Sigourney Weaver, like, come on.
She is an iconic actor. Yeah, she is.
My roommate met her and didn't
Rainn Wilson, Missy Pyle, Enrico Colantoni.
That's Rainn Wilson. Oh my gosh.
That is Rainn Wilson.
Where'd he go? What a...
Yeah, there he is.
That was actually the first time he was ever on camera in anything, apparently.
Rainn Wilson? It checks out to be the background role of a weird alien in a 90s sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the exact same facial structure as he does 30 years later. But it's also such a unique take on an alien race. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, a different kind of, like, interpretation of what aliens talk like in any other movie. It's actually kind of impressive that, like, it stands out as its own thing as opposed to everything else.
I think the Like the whole creation of the alien race in this movie is really well accomplished.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to think of this movie as a parody or a comedy, and it excels as that, but it's also really well thought out in so many other ways, and that's why it works as a whole.
It is kind of like on the spectrum of comedies that like are referencing a specific kind of movie. Like there's Spaceballs on one end, and then probably Galaxy Quest on the other. Whereas like Galaxy Quest, people consider a Star Trek movie, whereas Spaceballs is, you know, the spoof. It is a spoof of Star Wars, but still the best version of that.
Yep.
But like Austin Powers is more Galaxy Quest than it is Spaceballs, even though it's like in the middle for it doing James Bond and all that. It's such a weird spectrum of.
Well, it begs the question: where is the line between spoof and parody?
Yeah,
and I think also this is parody.
Reverence.
Sure. Like, I would argue you can't successfully spoof or parody something if you don't love it.
True.
If you come at something from a place of hate, it's never going to work, in my opinion. Just one man's opinion on the internet. One white man.
Unless it's something like Starship Troopers, which is like a satire.
Satire is different.
Yes.
That's
but it's
piece.
Also a parody. Like it is a version of that. It's like,
yeah.
It's so interesting. Like this kind of version of comedy is so moldable. Like it can't be because you hear parody or spoof and you think of Scary Movie or like, you know, that kind of genre of film where it's like, no, Galaxy Quest, Austin Powers, Spaceballs have so many different kinds of depth to them, but are so widely different on that spectrum.
Yep. You're right.
Thanks.
This is why I missed you, Ho, because we're over here like blip, 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 and you're like, let's discuss the...
I have my Robert McKee on the act of screenwriting book right here.
Do you have William Goldman's On the Screen Trade on the other shelf?
No, but I have Save the Cat.
Can I just say what a baller, humble, not at all egotistical mood it is to have a poster of yourself behind you?
Of me screaming.
Yeah. I mean...
It does it so I don't have to.
I mean, I have posters from the shows I produced
here,
so I get it. But my picture is not on it, although my name is on this poster.
Listen, always.
I'm all about humility and not being proud of your accomplishments.
Did you need to like hold the Drama Desk Award against your head at this moment while you're talking about humility?
Listen, I'm a sellout.
I can think of some other things I want to do with the Drama Desk Award. I think it would be good for stabbing.
Is it like on the scale between the Writers Guild Awards, which has 2 sharp points, and the Golden Globes, which is a sphere? Oh yeah, that's a deadly weapon. Mm-hmm. That's severely. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. I know both of these moods. That feeling of like, oh shit, I gotta go to work. Oh, okay. Where's the Advil?
Tim Allen is very good at playing drunk and messed up because he was drunk and messed up for most of the 70s and early 80s.
Hey, pull from what you know.
I also happen to have Enrico Colantoni on my wall twice because I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of Veronica Mars. And he's on that poster, and he's on that poster.
So many different things in the periphery of your background, Max. So many stories.
I like to keep things interesting. Everything's a conversation piece.
You do like to hear yourself talk.
Yikes.
You're one to talk. How many networks? How many networks are you on? How many shows do you do a week? Right.
A lot.
Disney ignored their felony rule for Tim Allen to be Santa.
Hey, it's a good trilogy, or at least 2 out of 3.
I like.
You don't like? I like the Mrs. Claus.
No, the second one's good. The Santa Claus suit, the Escape Clause with Martin Short as Jack Frost is not as good.
They should make a 4th one.
Recloseted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate them. I like the first one. The second one, I really, really love. What's her face? The person who played Mrs. Claus. I can't think of her name right now.
The second one's really good.
Juliet.
Yeah.
No, what's her? Elizabeth Mitchell.
There it is. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like you're the one playing movie trivia, not me.
I always thought it was Rene Russo, and that is wrong. And I lost that trivia question once.
This is pretty funny, actually. Santa Claus 4, just Claus we can.
There we go.
Coming to Disney Plus this fall.
Seems like it would be a Disney Plus movie.
But it's like that's such the test bed now of like we can't invest in a Mighty Ducks movie, but we can do 6 episodes.
They're doing like 10 or 12. Oh. It's been really, really enjoyable.
That's also fair. Oh, dog, no, get out of there. What was that city they were driving through?
LA?
What's that?
Well, that's where you used to live.
What? No, I just woke up and I've been at my mom's house, just like I've been for the past 4 years.
That seems wrong somehow.
Listen, I met you guys as I always do, at a bar in upstate New York.
I'm going to hop in my car right now and come to your house. I could be there before the stream is over.
I'd be quite impressed. Let me
just hop in my chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Everything starts shaking. I'm like, oh, no, Max is here.
You know, someone likes to tell me how bougie I am, so it stands to reason that I have a chopper to travel. The special effects in this are pretty good too. And like the design of the ships and stuff.
It does from what I've seen of Star Trek, it does the really smart thing of the villains green. Green is the aesthetic. Make all the lighting on their ship green, their outfits green. That way, like, we know what it is. Like, we don't have to hide anything more than just make it green and it seems alien.
Brandy, come on. I am in Brooklyn. I would definitely get to you quicker than I would get to Hogue. I would also buy Hogue a drink at any party, whether it be an after party or in the hotel lobby or in my apartment. You can come stay here and I'll buy you a drink.
I talked to PJ. We met at an after party and bought me a drink, and that's how friendships are made. So, Jake? This is a really good performance from Tim Allen.
It is.
In my memory, I always seemed like it always remembered him as doing it too cheesy, but like, no, this is pretty I well.
Think this is one of those movies where everyone involved is on the right wavelength and does exactly what they need to do. They all get the bit.
Well, and it's like, it's the perfect kind of like what we're talking about of Sigourney Weaver is the legacy sci-fi character. Alan Rickman has the iconic characters he hates being known for. Like everyone, like in their real life, fits kind of the character they're playing.
That's very true.
Two things can be simultaneously true. I can live in Brooklyn and be kind, or I could be like, "Go fuck yourself, Garth. How dare you?" Is that more of the Brooklyn you're familiar with? I'm sorry, what was that?
I laughed.
Yeah, it was really,
God, the casting in this movie is so on point too.
It really
everyone fits their characters so perfectly. But I think Hogue is right. Like, I think the best part is that everyone fits the character the most.
Yeah.
Like, each one feels like Rockwell is perfect to be like the overzealous fanboy. Same with Justin Long, right? Tim Allen as the kind of diva main hero. Absolutely. Alan Rickman is like the scorned. Yeah. Like it's so perfect across the board.
For this moment, I remember hearing this trivia. And it just kind of blows my mind the effort went to this movie. When the ship opens up, the screen would expand to Panavision like super wide to really like when this door opens up, like the screen would get wider, and you can even see it on the stream as it like.
Yeah, this might be one of the coolest, most beautiful visual shots in any movie. Also, and the music accompanying it is so perfect.
Like there's filmmaking in this kind of parody movie. Like it's.
Well, Dean Parasit's a good filmmaker, man. Yeah. He really is. I think that's part of why Bill and Ted Face the Music was so good, though, too. Like, Bill and Ted Face the Music had the heart and humor that this has, too, for very similar reason. He was the perfect choice for that movie.
Well, back to the casting, PJ, I was telling them of, like, have you ever seen another alien race that, like, is depicted in the same way that, like, the Nebians, like, are depicted in this? Or, like, well, I forget their... Like, it's so specific and so unique and so, like, iconic for just this movie that I can't think of another example like it.
I mean, it depends, I guess, because, like, Vulcans are pretty much what they are, too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But it's different still. Like, but that's what I could think of, where it's almost a human-like alien species that has, like, a very specific feel and tone in the way they talk.
Yeah. It feels as cohesive as like Vulcans do, but are different. Like Justin Long.
I love Justin Long, dude. He's so young in this too.
It's upsetting.
And the thing is, he pretty much looks the same, just a little more teenagey in this one.
It's upsetting. Like truly, that's the only word I have for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Termites or Dalmatians? You're Tim Allen. That's what we're thinking. I like that this bit doesn't last too long of him being like, you gotta believe me. Like, it's pretty quick to being like, guys, I'm telling the truth. And like, sure. Oh, you're telling the truth. Like, I hate when that lasts too long in a movie because it's like,
I agree. That's always so frustrating. Yeah. Luckily here, it doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's actually part of the brilliance of the movie is that the movie is so being ahead of the audience to be like, we know that you probably hate this trope. So if we get it over quick enough and then it becomes an actual adventure, you're more likely to lock in.
It doesn't feel like they're trying to hide their budget because it feels like, no, let's get to the adventure as quick as possible. Let's not dawdle longer than we need to.
A termite. I keep wondering, they keep saying that Amazon is going to do something with it. I wonder if we're ever going to get that sequel. Part of me feels like it's past almost. Like, without Alan Rickman, I
think with Alan Rickman gone and with Tim being Tim, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. With
Tim being Tim, Justin Long and Zach and Miri is oh
my
amazing.
God.
And then he sort of reprises that role in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Yeah.
So funny. That voice he does.
He doesn't kind of. Smith has said that's the same character.
No, I know, but they can't call him the same name, so.
Well, they just don't call him a name.
Right. Randy St. Randy, right?
Yeah. Brandon St. Randy.
No, Brandon St. Randy?
Oh, yeah, it's Brandon St. Randy, because he and Brandon Routh switch names.
Oh, right. That's right.
So it's Bobby Long and Brandon St. Randy.
So I have an alternate pitch. Instead of doing a Galaxy Quest 2, do an anthology series where you do a completely different genre. Do Fantasy Quest, where it's like a universe that has their version of Lord of the Rings, or a universe that has their version of a noir film that gets sucked into like that universe.
That could be
but
fun.
But it's like treated with the same like seriousness that this.
One of my favorite jokes is how they're all so shaken up, and then Tony Shalhoub arrives.
It's fine.
He's like, "What a ride!"
And Guy's just freaking out. Oh, Sam Rockwell.
This also must have been so fun to like film. Did Alan Rickman ever win an Oscar?
He's never even nominated, not once.
That's
I know. I agree.
Soul crushing.
I agree.
The creature effects are so good in that moment too, and the scream sells it. Oh, so good. Have we talked about that was a hell of a thing? Have we talked about the fact that his character is stoned the entire movie, and because
Shalhoub?
this is so again,
of course he is.
Oh, did he eat
rated
brownies in the
R.
beginning? Is that what he was doing?
He was supposed to be stoned the entire movie, but because they cut it down, all of that was kind of taken out, but it still remains.
It still works.
Yeah, but he's 100% supposed to be stoned the entire movie, which is brilliant for this. And then, of course, like, whoa, go ahead, Maxwell.
Go ahead. I want to look something up.
Oh, I was going to say, the funny thing is like right before this movie, he was in Men in Black, and then he would show back up again in Men in Black 2. Like, he was doing quite a few things that were kind of alien effects heavy right around this time. And it was right before he ended up being on Monk on USA. But, like, Shalhoub, for the longest, was, like, one of the great comedic character actors, in fact. And now, like, just a great actor, period.
Now that you're saying he's stoned, like, I can't unsee it. Like, yeah, that's absolutely what's going on.
Oh, yeah. So Daryl Mitchell, just a couple years after this, was in a really bad motorcycle accident and got paralyzed. So now whenever he appears in something, he's in a wheelchair. But I always really liked him as an actor. I think of 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes.
Or he's the English teacher.
He's in a TV show. Is he in one of the NCISs or something now as a regular? He was in something.
He had a sitcom for a while that was all about his... Oh, yeah, he's been on 143 episodes of NCIS New Orleans.
Okay, that's what it was. I knew he was a regular on one of them.
He did a bunch of Fear the Walking Dead as well.
He's incredibly talented.
And he was on a lot of episodes of Ed.
Mm-hmm. And Ed was fantastic. I missed that show. I wish it would get DVD release, but
there are such issues with the music. Yep. I agree, Janine. He's awesome in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Gosh, I get it. It's prohibitive, but
I think this is the first time anyone has ever said anything positive about the Country Bears movie.
No, Christopher Walken's in that movie, and that is a positive for that.
Blood on the saddle. Blood on the saddle.
Got a lot of these country
Can we please go to that? Can we? PJ?
Absolutely.
Yes.
PJ, we're going to the Country Bears, right?
Yes. Are you kidding me? I haven't seen it since I was 5.
Since you were when? What? How?
5.
5. 5. 5. PJ, could you be any sweeter?
You sweet little cinnamon bun.
Why is Hoag's icon an animation of me? That's weird.
Garth, if you have blood on the saddle, please consult a physician. Unless you're a country bear, then it's a pro.
I just want to watch Veronica Mars now. Is that weird?
Not at all. I always want to watch Veronica Mars because PJ, a long time ago, we used to be friends. PJ, I have a question, PJ. This is kind of unrelated, but have you read any good books lately? You know, like are we going? No, like you go chapter by chapter, you turn the page. Have you read any good books lately?
I hate you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just asking about your book reading.
Do you turn pages or do you flip pages?
I hate you guys.
Do you flip them? You flip them over?
Don't make Powerade come out of my nose, please.
Oh my God, make Powerade.
I don't know why you're reacting like this. We are literally talking
We're
about
talking
books.
about books.
Look, I have a whole plethora of them here. I have like 300 or 400 in my house. I love books.
Did I ever tell you that the first time
your
I came
face
to New
is
York
the same color as your chair right now?
Over books?
When I came to visit you in New York that last time, when I got off the plane and I walked into JFK, the Veronica Mars theme was playing in JFK, and that's when I knew it was about to be one of the best trips I'd ever had in my life.
I haven't been to JFK in a long time.
Since yesterday.
No.
No.
What are you talking about?
The day before?
Nope.
3 days ago? 5 days ago?
No. It's been
20 days ago.
Yeah, it's been like that. Yeah.
Yeah. A long time ago, we used to be friends. Haven't thought of you lately at all. This is how we get copyright straight, right?
You know what I always thought would be really magical? Like picking someone up
coming back. Oh, wait.
Picking someone up from the airport, and like because you can't go through security, like you're waiting at the bottom of the escalator for them to come down. That would be so romantic.
What?
Maybe you could do that with some books, PJ. Go pick up your books at the airport.
What?
Hogue is so confused.
Man.
Poor Hogue.
You leave for 4 minutes and then everything goes to shit. Wow. Listen, guys, I'm the glue that holds this place together. I don't know why you keep kicking me off every show.
Yes. Okay, Janine, you get it. That is exactly 100% what I'm referencing is Cruel Intentions. Like, in my mind, Colorblind by Counting Crows is playing on the soundtrack.
This scene caused me so much anxiety as a kid. Okay, maybe not this much anxiety.
I love the music in this right here. And then just like the
score in this movie is great.
It's the little moments of comedy though that mix it so well. Like it is epic and it's super exciting and it feels like Trek.
That is always my thought of like, even in just like boat movies where it's like they're leaving a dock. I'm like, what if you, I don't know, just like mess it up and then just ruin like $1 million.
The sound of just like when you scrape any, oh God, the look on their faces. It's so good.
It's so painful, but it's so awesome. It's like
I know you're like retching. You're like, ugh.
I love how their planet is just like a section of a planet.
The set design in this is like really impressive though. And again, it just comes down to they really treated this with like so much intensive detail of we want it to be Star Trek, but a comedy. Has anyone watched that show that's on Fox? And I think it's on Hulu now.
The
one with
Orville?
Sarah Palin? Yeah.
It's really good.
Is it? Is it similar to this?
Well, he like apparently sold it to Fox. It's like it's going to be a comedy, and then after episode 2, just made it a Star Trek.
It's honestly more serious than you'd expect. It has jokes.
Okay. Sure.
But it's It's very earnest.
Well, but apparently he just wanted an old-fashioned Star Trek show, and just like the only way he could get them to buy it is if he told them it was a comedy, and then just made Star Trek after that.
But season 3 will be on Hulu.
Right. So McFarlane's actually a really gifted actor and director. So that makes sense to me that he did that to try to just make his thing. So I should check it out because I haven't seen it yet.
And Jon Favreau directed the pilot.
Right. That's right.
Of course he did.
I remember that.
Because everything that's good in the world is touched by Jon Favreau mostly.
Including Rachel Silvestrini.
What?
What?
What? Including
What?
Jon Favreau touched Rachel Silvestrini?
Yeah, me, Rachel, James White,
like, what's happening?
A couple other people were at Disneyland, and she left us early and met him on Main Street and sent us a picture to brag. I was like, "Gah!"
Sorry, what were you like?
Okay. That's cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sam Rockwell.
That little look he gives is like, I'm not even okay, Randall. Or Dante. I guess it would be Dante who says that.
Now I really just want to watch Clerks because Clerks is so good.
I'd honestly rather watch Clerks 2 because I just like Rosario Dawson dancing on the roof to the Jackson 5.
That's the best part of the whole movie.
It is.
My actual opinion is that I think Clerks 2 is actually the better movie.
I agree.
I think and I know you and I was gonna say I know you and I both agree on that, but I know that it is not a popular opinion. But I just think that it shows the kind of growth a filmmaker can have over time, and I love that movie, man.
I do too. It's as funny and raunchy as any of his movies, but so sweet. And the dynamic between Dante and Randall, that whole scene in the jail cell is great writing.
It's incredible. And
it's honestly like what's going on with Holden and Brody in Chasing Amy, but more mature because he has more time on his hands to dive into that dynamic deeper.
Well, that's why the Holden scene, speaking of, in Reboot is
Reboot. I agree. So great.
God, look at the makeup just on the alien design. Again, like, come on, man. Put it in a box for you. What?
Sam Rockwell.
This is such a good joke. It's such an obvious joke, but that they're already on the call.
I like that they're just like, we're basically just going to... Garth's like a watch along where PJ keeps saying all the other things he wants to watch. I mean, pretty much every watch along. We tangent a lot. I'm going to be honest.
I want to watch Ocean's 11, and I really have been hankering to watch Jurassic World.
I would love to do a double feature of World and Fallen Kingdom.
I think maybe just because I got to go on the Velocicoaster a couple weeks ago.
I'll do it.
So
which was incredible.
good.
So good. From that front row. Oh my God.
I remember making a really, really weird noise the entire time, but I couldn't stop. I was like,
the first time we went on it, I was just giggling the whole time because I was having so much fun.
So he started making this giggle like, and I'm like, what's going on? I was like, what the hell?
This is a great idea, Brandy. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Are those going to be
that.
Is that your patron request for this month, Brandy? Reefus, and you are neither stupid nor ugly.
Correct.
Oh, but you will. You'll get on it, Dana. Don't worry.
Listen, we were talking about getting tickets for Universal today for certain things. Yeah. So we're doing it. We're doing this.
Okay, so we're doing this.
Hamilton.
Beautiful Hamilton reference.
You know what? No, don't change it, Brandy. I'll make an Ocean's 11 Jurassic World double feature my birthday watch along in June.
But now I guess I'll just make Fallen Kingdom a standalone watch along then. I love Fallen Kingdom.
So I just want to note
how stoned he is.
Well, I just want to note on that point that in the captions it said in parentheses deadpan for what he's saying. Yeah. So stoned.
Yep.
And all that.
Wow.
We could do Ocean's 12 and Fallen Kingdom, PJ.
I'm not against that. And then Ocean's 13 with Dominion after.
That works.
This sounds like a fun idea. I want to be along for this ride.
I'll give it. It's unique. It's a unique idea. I would not think of those combos.
We got to do it now.
Just it's done. It's been written.
What do we pair Ocean's 8 with, though? That's the question.
We go back to the beginning?
Dinosaurs?
No, Jurassic Park
Disney
3.
Movie?
Yeah, Jurassic Park 3 with William H. Macy. I am out of focus.
And Tia Leone?
Yeah,
Tia Leone, yeah.
Tia Leone.
Love Tia Leone.
I started watching Madam Secretary with my mom. That's a good show, and she's really good in it.
My mom loves that show.
Patina Miller's in that show.
Also, her daughter, what's her name? Her daughter in that show is Wallace Curry Wood. It's her only acting role, and she's one of the greatest younger actresses I have ever seen in my life. Nobody talks about her. She needs to be in more stuff. That's my pitch for tonight.
I like it.
Fair enough.
I agree.
It's a good pitch. Oh, my middle name is Lee, Brandy. Maxwell Lee. I'll take him to the medical quarters.
The little kicking and stuff. Yeah.
The screams are hilarious. Ah!
He's so good in this, man. Wait, Morgan Freeman's an executive producer on Madam Secretary? The more you know.
Yes. It's also a really good design for their ship to like be reminiscent of the Enterprise, but not copy it. Like doing the like dual kind of discs on the side. It's a very smart adaptation of that.
He said Shaft.
Who's the man? Who would wish his life for his brother, man? Shaft. Can you dig it? No? Right. I tried.
The worst thing is that when you said, "Can you dig it?" I went immediately to Booker T and not to Shaft. So I'm broken. You're welcome. You're welcome.
For 5 points in the Schmodown, which franchise has 3 entries that are literally named the same thing?
Shaft.
Can you dig it? Yeah, that's right, Gar. Shut your mouth. Thank you. Class.
No, Brandy, he's talking about the Sinatra Ocean's 11.
Is someone doing laundry? Because I definitely heard a laundry thing.
Dang it! I thought I paused my night. I'm in my mom's basement.
No. The only reason I know is because it makes the same sound that mine does. That's why I was confused.
Look, there's one thing I've come to learn about Pajuk watch-alongs is that someone is always doing laundry.
That's probably
it wouldn't be proper without it.
Listen, I almost did the watch-along from my bedroom where I would be folding laundry, so it's fine.
My laundry machine is right on the other side of this wall, so you can definitely hear it.
The guy who's standing behind Papa Mars. Why do I recognize him?
His name is Patrick Breen. He's a pretty notable character actor, but he's also a hugely accomplished Broadway actor. I've seen him in so many shows over the years. One in particular called Next Fall, where he gave one of my favorite performances I've ever seen on a stage.
Okay. I've always liked him. I'm just trying to remember. Like
he's got really talented.
PJ, he's in Men in Black.
He is in Men in Black. Yes,
he's in A Series of Unfortunate Events, the TV show.
What is he in Men in Black?
He is.
Is he the guy that he goes to dinner with?
He's on Madam Secretary.
No.
He's Mr. Redrick. I don't know who that is. Let me.
No, it's got to be someone else. Now I'm curious. I'm trying to remember which character that is. Come on, guys, group hug. That's all of us once COVID restrictions are lifted and we're seeing each other again.
PJ, I'm seeing you in 3 weeks.
I know. I can't wait.
And you're seeing me in 3 weeks. Why is it 4 weeks? Yep. Yeah, it's 4 weeks. It's exactly 4 weeks from now.
I'm also seeing you in 10 days.
That's true. Yay, work.
Work. We're going to do some work. He's so good in this movie, Patrick Breen. He's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, all these alien people just have that childlike innocence to them without it being creepy. It's kind of impressive. It is a good score. It was Daniel Newman, someone said, who's probably related to Randy Newman.
David Newman.
Tony Shalhoub's eating food, which makes sense.
But he's eating the most stoner food, those little cheese sticks. He's like, blah, blah, blah. You got to dip it. The only thing that would have been better is if he was eating Dunkaroos.
I forgot he was in A Most Violent Year.
Who?
Oh, Patrick Breen. Reggie is the one that is the wife is having the child that they stop outside of the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I realized it when I saw the name and I was like, oh, that's because they're trying to leave.
You walk well.
That might be the funniest way anyone has ever said, do I?
Yeah.
Do I?
Well, I think the other part that's great in that is just Alan Rickman, are we there yet? Just so deadpan as Sam Rockwell is screaming. Tony Shalhoub's face. It's the best. Yeah, David Newman is the cousin of Randy Newman. And Randy Newman did the opening theme for Monk, which starred Tony Shalhoub. David Newman is a cousin of Randy Newman. Dope.
There are so many Newmans in that family that are
and they're all. Yep. I saw a Pixar in concert, and David Newman was conducting.
Hot dog. Like, what's
He's
the expectation
son of composer
when you're
Alfred Newman? Is Alfred E. Newman the grandfather? Is the more specific thing that we need to be asking ourselves.
Oh boy, you know I could really go for that I haven't had in a long time. A massage.
Oh yeah,
that'd be nice.
I had a massage yesterday.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
I got one 2 weeks ago, and it was like right in the prime of it had been a little bit since I'd had one, and it was just perfect. You know,
well, it's funny to note how many Parkers there are in the Parker family. Just so many Parkers.
Brandy.
Thomas Newman's the other one. That makes sense.
Yeah, I said that already. But no one pays attention to me. So, bye.
No, Max. No, oh, he's gone. Oh, shucks.
Oh, we're doing that again.
Oh, is this the one with the creepy alien children? I'm going to take that as a major yes. Well, if we're just going to have Max faces, then why don't we just have Max faces? Don't worry, I'm still here. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I guess we're back.
They're so creepy. But also kind of cute, but also really creepy. But also kind of cute, but also very creepy.
The marketing like definitely leaned in on this sequence in particular.
Yes.
And I always remember it showed them and the rock monster. Like that was the big part of the marketing was them and the rock monster.
It's Tim Allen fighting the rock monster that is just the image burned into my brain from this movie as a kid. And then, yeah, Sigourney Weaver saying, they're so cute at these.
That's such good wordplay. Minors, not minors.
The special effects are pretty good.
Pretty great. I mean, I think they hold up. They look better than some more recent movies.
Oh, they killed this guy, don't they? I remember that.
Yeah, because he's limping.
This movie and the Ivan Reitman movie Evolution, I remember watching.
I love Evolution
as a kid. Tried to watch that again as an adult.
My friend is in that movie, so I was on set for a day.
Really?
That's awesome. There's a line in that movie that I always remember, which is the blue monkey, blue monkey.
Blue monkey. Yep. Take the leg. Take the leg.
That, you know, Dana, yeah, that's how they work. That's sort of like a whole thing.
Listen, if you just want to hang out and enjoy our company.
I mean, I'll say this though: there's a lot of people that I've talked to that just tune into the watch-alongs to hear us bullshitting and hanging out because it's always like inherently just a normal conversation while we watch the movie.
We're pretty good at bullshit.
Yeah. It's true.
I am a bullshit artist. I'm an expert at bullshit.
A bullshitter, some would say.
Bullshit.
I love that movie too.
Me too. It's the life story of one Mr. Patrick Joseph Campbell.
Campbell?
What's it called?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Sarah Marshall.
Oh, yes. Clever. Touche. PJ, I'm sorry.
PJ, when you flap your dick around, does it make a similar noise?
And also, do you also have a Dracula-inspired puppet musical?
No, his is actually Creature of the Black Lagoon opera.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, would be pretty good.
I said what I said. I meant it.
I could see that. Like, imagine like a stage that is a swamp with like mist coming off the.
Sounds expensive,
but good.
My producer mind is already like, how much is that gonna? Nope, can't do it.
Listen, I got some dry ice in the back of my van. We probably got a good matinee settled for that. We'll figure out the rest from there.
We're doing a single matinee.
Well, just with the dry ice. Then I'll have
That's
like a bunch
not
of kids.
remotely sustainable.
No. That's what I'm saying. And then we'll just have like kids with like chalk boards and just like chalk erasures.
You had a vodka and a bottle of rosé? Sounds like a good day.
I did have a good day. I also had fish tacos. Those were delicious.
Sounds good.
I love fish taco.
And
so
PJ
good. Doesn't need this. Yeah, we love you, PJ. Team writers, even PJ. Thanks, Garth. I appreciate that.
So then you were with your rosé and your tacos and your vodka by the pool, and I was stuck in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Life is not fair sometimes.
I also went to California Grill the other night. That was good.
I haven't been there in a long time, but that does sound good.
I had sushi. It was like a creamsicle roll. Basically, if PJ were sushi, he would be a creamsicle roll.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Did it have a spicy element?
I had jalapenos on the top, so like mostly sweet but kind of spicy.
Sounds like you're describing me.
No, I'm describing PJ.
I'm just all the way spicy.
Barely an element of sweet to you. You're like a jalapeno margarita.
Okay, I need to take this moment, and I don't know why, but the way that thing made the sound reminded me of the Rugrats. Has anyone seen the trailer for the new Rugrats?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
I can't muster up the energy to do it. Yeah.
Like, the writing looks on point, and the voice work is so good, but boy, nah.
Garignac.
Tim Allen in this black t-shirt and these tucked into like these pants is my go-to look now. It honestly doesn't look like it could run that fast. I'd say just try to run. Just punch it.
You can do it, Fred.
Yeah, this is a nightmare I would have.
Garth sushi usually makes me sick. I don't usually get that with PJ. I appreciate that, man. Unless, of course, it's the bring it on question, which I understand, and I apologize.
Oh, thanks, Star Drew.
Guys, I felt like when everyone started talking about that bring it on one, I was like, that's 100% on me for not realizing that every high school's mascot and team is not the same.
No, it's not.
Because in my life, it totally was. And so when I looked at that question, it didn't think about it.
That was a pretty Marty McFly line. Did I just hear that animal turned inside out and then exploded?
Disgusting.
Yeah, PJ, when are we doing a Back to the Future trilogy watch along?
PJ doesn't like those movies.
We were like real close to doing that, but we ended up doing the Bill and Ted one, which made sense. I'd love to down the line. I'm
down for another trilogy watch along.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did it. Maybe in July.
Is there like because the date in the movie is November.
November 5th, 1955.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually, like, legitimately, November works better for me probably in the long run. So I'm not against it in November if we want to do it. But that's a long way to wait. We can put it on the books and we can do it. But actually, you know what? Maybe, man. Maybe.
Let's we'll sit on it. We'll think about that one.
Yeah, I'd like to do it. It's one of the bigger series watch-alongs I'd like to do in the future. Thank you, Brandy, and thank you, Garth. See, I love you guys. You just get it. So this scene, by the way, what a brilliant nod to Star Trek, just in general. Because Star Trek had that like very famous, iconic scene of
with the lizard man.
Yeah, and of course, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Can you form some sort of rudimentary lathe? Oh, that's rich.
Wait, PJ, what were you saying about the lizard man from Star Trek?
Well, I was gonna say this is like such a cool nod to that. And it just made me laugh because we were just talking like we had done Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey also used that as like their own framework for them getting thrown off because they go to that rock formation. But I like that in this, they like the rock planet is so clearly a nod to that.
Totally.
And that's what I like about this. Like, again, it's such a love letter to Star Trek, man.
Why does Tim Allen look pretty decent with his shirt off? It's making me uncomfortable.
Well, actually, like, I mean, he's in pretty good shape now, too, I guess. But, like, it is weird. I'm not going to lie.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, I think this is his best role. Either this or the Santa Claus, Chris.
I mean, also, though, Buzz Lightyear is real fantastic.
Yeah.
There's another Tim Allen movie I'm not thinking of.
I wonder, like... He never did a ton of dramatic stuff, but I think he actually probably could have done like great dramatic work.
You know what movie I also like is Big Trouble?
Yeah. I also have a soft spot for Wild Hogs.
I've never seen it.
I do have a soft spot, but only a soft spot for it. It's fun.
It's not a very good movie, but I enjoy the hell out of it. Like that cast is fantastic together.
I will also give him credit. The Santa Claus 2, he plays a pretty convincing romantic lead. Like he's pretty charming in that movie. Jungle to Jungle is also a big childhood movie for me.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. But he's really... Yeah, I think this is his best performance.
Yeah, I think it's got the most dramatic weight behind it too.
And it's him being kind of the most self-aware he's ever been.
And again, the brilliance of this movie is how self-aware it is.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. The bad guy's here.
Maxwell, I just had to double take, and I forgot you were not in your old apartment because it looks so much like the old apartment in the background.
I've been here since December.
No, I know. It was just a weird moment where I like relapsed in my mind, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you moved." It just looks so similar in the back.
I moved 6 months ago. It's been half of a year.
I think we broke him. I think he's broken.
Wait, Max or PJ?
I'm not broken, bitch.
Oh.
I was talking about PJ.
I was talking to Hogue.
I'm always broken. What are we talking about?
Man,
I don't even know where Maxwell is.
That's just making a comment.
Oh my god! Oh, that was a really. That's an effective.
That is such a great effect.
Yeah.
And again, like just how good is all of the effects work? Like, oh man, it's the best.
It's really good. Like it should look sillier than it does. It's also what this movie has over a lot of other these kind of like, again, spoof is the wrong term, but like kind of spoof movie is that there's character arcs for everybody of like them becoming heroes, them thinking of themselves as like fakes, and then actually like kind of owning up to like fulfilling the roles they were assigned. It's kind of sweet. It's actually like really kind of a heartwarming like little movie. And like that's the best like Star Trek or Star Wars. Like there are real heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That eye patch is so badass with spikes on it. Like, are you kidding me?
It's kind of like you chose that out because you knew people were going to talk about it. Of like, it could just be an eye patch, but if it looked like Bowser's shell,
he does have a sort of Bowserness to him.
Imagine if this director made the Mario movie. I like the articulating like spider legs that are on his head.
Yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. Enrico Colantoni.
Mm-hmm.
This is truly like villain stuff. Like this is like just salt in the wound.
Yep. He lied.
That look and the sound that he makes is so heartbreaking. And it really hits. Like, it actually hits.
Mm-hmm. The movie has a strong emotional core. It really does.
And it's like, I don't know, like what a message about stories, and even if they are fake, what they can inspire in people. Like, it is that mystification that's taken away when you grow up. Of like,
yeah,
you know, Jurassic Park, dinosaurs were real to me as a kid. And like, I love learning about movies, and like, I found the magic in that. But when other people were like, oh, it's not real, it takes it away. I'm like, oh, that's such a harsh reality for people to learn.
Well, I think that's the thing that this movie does really well, though, too, because I think that there's a lot of movies that use this and TV shows that use this same sort of plot device, and sometimes it doesn't feel earned in like the rectifying that situation also. And I think this movie does a great job of the reveal and it feeling something while also being something that is rectified so beautifully.
It's like, it's so honest without being cynical about it, that like it's kind of amazing that it's able to strike that heartwarming balance.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like you make this today and it would just be snarky jokes about like, oh, it's just all fake and like just that.
Well, that's kind of my thing. Like, again, I think it just so brilliantly walks the line between being so sincere while also being like legitimately funny and a commentary on this stuff.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Saris was one of my favorite small villains on Buffy, Ethan Rayne.
Oh, shit. That was him, huh?
Mm-hmm. Who also has the same tattoo I have, because him and Giles both had it. This one,
Giles. And it's like, that's what 90s movies had. It's just could fill your cast with all those like brilliant character actors that just like brought so much life.
I'm getting something new here on Wednesday.
Yeah. Son.
Is it a picture of me?
What do you? Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's actually
like
it's you from behind you from Good Guy with the Gun.
I'd be honored and concerned. I'll take that.
Jen, you should have joined us.
I'll say this too. Like, it could have been so easy for them to just straight up mock Star Trek, but to be a brilliant love letter to Star Trek, it, like, again, fine line, and they nail it. And it's very, very impressive.
Oh, phew.
What a cute, like, also resolution and plan. Tony Shalhoub.
The door's a little sticky. Again, like, especially when you know what it was, like, it's impossible to see it any other way.
It's just like, of course, like, oh no.
It's amazing how well this movie holds up so many years later, special effects wise. But again, I think it also it's the story.
Well, and I forget the exact story, but somebody came up with this idea, wrote a draft, and then came to the producers. And the producers were like, can we buy this idea from you? Because the script was completely different, but they loved the idea. Yeah, and basically just gave it to these writers to rewrite into this.
You got it, Chris. I'm getting nachos on my arm.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
My 7th tattoo is nachos.
I want a tattoo of nachos.
Okay. When are you getting it? I'll go with you.
What
was it? What was that?
I'm sorry. My love for nachos. What was that awkward laugh?
I think this is the scene that's coming up with them in the reactor is like the one time that you can see the very obvious ADR where they definitely dubbed over Sigourney Weaver saying fuck, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, the one time that always like stands out to me in a movie is in The Social Network. There's a moment where Armie Hammer says, "Let's gut the frickin' nerd," but when he says "frickin'," his mouth like totally says "fucking," and it's like, oh yeah,
yeah. There's another one, and it involves Justin Long actually, and it's "Live Free or Die Hard." There's like a weird cut where he's in the background and he's clearly saying something, but the ADR is very different than the way he's like moving and talking. And then it cuts back to him and it's so clear he was saying something else. And so that's one of the ones that stands out to me too.
Just because
he's great in Live Free though.
He's great. Just the fact that movie did not use their fuck for yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, I will never forgive. Like, come on. Like, if you're gonna do it.
Well, it wasn't their fault. It's the ratings. The rating board doesn't let you say motherfucker in a PG-13 movie. So that's why he has to. Our rating system is so fucked up that he had to shoot himself to muffle himself saying fuck.
Oh, just like, long.
Oh, hell yeah. My copy of Drunken Master 2 is going to be here tomorrow on Blue, the new Warner Archive release. And I cannot wait to watch it.
I love him. Patrick Breen. Another good Patrick in the world.
Another good Patrick in the world.
It's such an interesting extra layer to the score. There's like this vocal track that goes, ah, which is unique.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing I love about the movie too, is that like it shows off the fun part of like nerd fandom and shit, where it's like they all know everything and how well they know the ship inside and out, and like it's the best.
Like it like makes fun of it, but also shows you the value and like
the early days of video chatting.
Yep. Also, what other movie do he and Justin Long appear in together?
Accepted?
Correct.
The South Harmon Institute of Technology. You know
Such
that's
a great
shit,
movie.
right?
Yeah.
It is
Dude,
a funny
Accepted
movie.
is... We should do a Accepted watch along one day.
We should.
That movie
It
is
just came on
fantastic.
Blu-ray.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that movie. I think not enough people have seen Accepted, in my opinion.
Ew.
It's hard to understand. Like, I love Accepted.
Good cast, too. Ahead of its time cast in a lot of ways with Jonah Hill and Blake Lively and Justin Long. Like, good movie.
Iconic
Louis Black
trailer.
is hilarious, too. Yeah.
Ask me about my wiener.
Ask
'Cause, you
me
know,
about my wiener.
I used to
You have
go over
sing
to, they shot a bunch of it over at Chapman University, like those scenes in particular. And I'd go over there because there was a bunch of good restaurants in that area. So I used to go there when I lived in Orange County all the time.
Hell yeah.
Freaking love it so much over there. See? Exactly. And then Brandy said she doesn't think she's ever seen it. And
Brandy.
I'm now not surprised because she hadn't seen Tommy Boy until like 2 weeks ago. Because she doesn't love comedy, and that's okay. Like, I get it. It's not everyone's favorite genre. That's an easy watch, too. It's like 90 minutes. It's such a breeze to just enjoy.
He even has the stance for like the blaster shooting down, like hunchback, like pointed forward.
And Jake, yes, we're still going because the movie's not over yet. I thought that would be obvious for a watch along.
The plucky comic relief.
The thing about a watch along, Jake, is it lasts the duration of the film, and most films are.
That's what I just said. Yeah, like 2 hours. Like we don't just stop doing it. You know? Could you imagine if? Well, actually, I was going to say, can you imagine if we started doing a watch along? We didn't finish it, but we've been there before. Unfortunately,
Godzilla. Chadwick.
The worst.
Thank you, Brandy. I'll take that. I remember this scene very iconically as well.
I love that it's like this kid, by the way.
Oh, this is so anxiety inducing.
I know.
I love
This
how
is
it's just
the
like
world.
it's so unnecessary just for the sake of TV, but they built it for real.
Yeah, and like the other thing for me is like this feels like the worst video game ever.
Oh my god, I would throw my goddamn controller across the room.
I know. But there is shit like this in video games where it's the worst.
Garth says, I'm waiting for the special episode Hogue 1, a PJCN story. Dear.
There's a tragic ending to that one that I don't know if society's ready for.
Does the wiki win? Because that's all that really matters.
I can neither confirm nor deny your suspicions, PJ.
Perfect. The rock monster just like being beamed in right there. And the silence. Oh, the best. And the look on their face.
The look on Shaloub's face is great.
Yeah. He's just so proud of himself and like just the smirk. Oh, it's the best.
She's a squid alien, though, right? Like,
yes, there's yeah.
Yep. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, it's such a good line. Yeah, here at the PJCN, we are firm believers in love is love is love is love.
Oh,
is
yeah,
love.
no, I'm not against it. Not at all. I just find it very interesting that this very earnest and heartfelt movie with actual drama has that scene in it as well.
It's like Shape of Water before Shape of Water.
I love that movie.
I was at the premiere of that movie with the entire cast and the director.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, let me brag about my cool moments.
Oh, remember that time that you and I were together at the ArcLight and I literally ran into Martin Sheen by mistake while we were...
Yeah.
Because there was that premiere going on. Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Oh, what a life.
Yeah. Oh man, Alan Rickman's face in that moment too.
It's just not fair.
This scene genuinely like makes me tear up.
This part, this breaks my heart every time.
Like Alan Rickman's delivery here is like
brilliant.
Truly, like he's one of the best actors.
Poor Reggie.
Patrick Breen, man.
I wonder if that's also Reggie. It could be, right? Because Reggie's son in Men in Black is a squid thing too.
Everything's a universe.
Everything's a universe.
My Grabot's hammer. Like, what a character arc.
I know.
Like,
well, for him to finally say it so earnestly and, like, accept it.
And just, like, embody, like, the message of the film of, like, no, this means something to people. And, like, that's important. Like, we tell stories to inspire. And it can inspire the storytellers as well. Oh, Alan Rickman.
And again, just that alien makeup is so good. Why is Galaxy Quest not an IG?
Was it successful at the box office, or was this a flop? Yeah,
it did fine.
It did all right. Like, not enough to warrant a sequel, but not enough to be like.
But it's now. It's like obviously super beloved now. You know, it's one of those movies that has only grown in esteem over the years.
Yeah,
it seems like a home video kind of like cult classic sort of thing that like really boomed.
I feel like it was everywhere, to be honest, when it came out.
I mean, so the budget was $45 million and it made $71 million here in the US. So not bad.
Well, it almost doubled it, yeah. I mean,
and then another 19 worldwide. So
it doubled it all together almost.
It's kind of interesting that they don't kiss, that they don't make them forced to have like one of those moments. That's like
that's why it always stops at one on the show.
I like the double pupil.
Mm-hmm. Again, I think the creature design in this is just so cool.
Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-ba-ba.
It is interesting that like this is kind of a fully formed universe that really is only tailored to tell this one story, but you could do so much more with it.
Well, I think that's why for so long, like they did talk about. I think there's a comic book series now, or there was a comic book series at one point. But they've never found the way to like really continue the story in a way that they wanted, and they were going to. And then Alan Rickman passed away because I think it was going to be very like next gen, like what happened next.
Well, and that's the thing of like, it feels so fully formed that you don't need to do a sequel that feels like a sequel to Star Trek. You could probably just do a Galaxy Quest sequel and just kind of have it start to become its own thing, a separate from, you know, Next Generation or the reboots or everything, and it would still feel kind of like valid. Like, this is when these kind of things create their own mythos, and
that could actually be a good idea for a sequel. Is Galaxy Quest: The Next Generation, and it's a whole new cast.
Yeah, and you could have some of the others obviously cameo because Next Gen obviously did have like the handoff, right? Like some of the characters did appear, so anything's possible.
Yeah.
I did come up with the other day. I was like, you know what they should do with the Kelvin timeline is do a Next Gen Kelvin movie, but you bring Tom Hardy back and have him play Picard.
That's a good idea.
I think that there's something you could do with that. Like, it could be fun. Someone at Paramount get in touch with me. We'll make it happen.
We got a Paramount Plus deal for you. Ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow. They're like turtle spiders. That's cool.
I agree.
It's a good explosion too. It really looks good. I agree.
Again,
Tony Shalhoub should come back, and then everyone else. You know, Tony Shalhoub and Sam Rockwell should come back.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell
100%.
should be in everything. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's 100% an accurate story.
Starger, you're right that this shares a lot of DNA with Fifth Element in a lot of that way.
Hot take: this is the better movie than The Fifth Element.
I like Fifth Element, but I agree.
This is better than Like, I like Fifth Element. Don't get me wrong, but totally. Like, Fifth Element is Die Hard in space.
Fifth Element is bold, weird, and crazy, and the fact that it pulls it off is really impressive. This one is just kind of more of a one-to-one of like really satisfying and solid movie.
Yeah. Jen makes an excellent point. I love that they figured they could put the Saris army in the helmet mask combos to save time on makeup while still looking cool as hell. Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of Mad Max, to be honest. Like, the Mad Max villains and stuff have a very similar thing.
I agree, like Jen. That's a clever workaround.
That's true, Chris. The Shudder deal. I also desperately want to make a sequel to The Burbs, but I want it to be from the point of view of the grandson of the family, played by Michael Shannon. That's all I'm saying. He could be the new Klopek. Jen, if we make The Burbs 2 with Chet Hanks, we're suddenly going direct to video, and I don't want to do that. That scares me. I don't know if we want Chet Hanks and his White Boy Summer anywhere near The Burbs 2. It's not the worst idea.
Oh, I forgot this.
I mean, we could kill him off at the beginning. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I forgot this, but I also kind of remember it.
It's a very dark moment, actually. And I always love this. Because, again, it kind of takes a bold twist that you're not anticipating in a movie like this.
But, like, fully set up with, like, the Thermians have the transforming technology, so
Right.
it's like, yeah, why wouldn't the enemies take advantage of that? Gosh. Wow.
What a cool looking effect too for the time travel moment.
Hell yeah. Take that, Tony Shalhoub.
And then he transforms right behind him. It's like, why is someone not paying attention?
Nah. He was hitting Tony Shalhoub. That can't stand.
Yeah, but someone also maybe watched the body, because the last time you didn't listen to him, look what ended up being true.
True.
I just love the way he talks, man. It's just the best. Oh, hello, Swift. Jen saying that the Burbs 2, which Chet Hanks will premiere at Cannes. I mean, worse things have premiered at Cannes, so it's not unlikely.
What a just heartwarming alien race.
Right?
All right, who are all these people? They're probably cameos of somebody.
The look on their faces while he's talking.
What a weird way to read a newspaper. It's like,
this makes me miss Comic-Con, to be honest with you.
It's just, and like all of this is set up. Of like Justin Long's character was set up in the beginning,
right?
Pays off, does something in the middle, pays off at the end. Like, it's good screenwriting.
To be honest with you, I was gonna say, like, the one thing about this movie is everything comes full circle. I think every character has an arc, even no matter how small, which I've always appreciated.
Oh my god, that's a lot of practical set. They just, wow,
really, really good payoff there.
The 90s were cool, man. We used to do shit like that a lot.
Take that, CGI.
Jesse,
but it's like,
what do we have to do for a Mel Brooks watch along? Not much. Just ask me and we can do one. Young Frankenstein and the producers and Spaceballs win anytime.
It's kind of impressive, like, how many extra questions you could ask about this premise, but like the movie doesn't even like bring them up because it would distract too much from the story they're telling. Because it's like, what do the writers of the TV show think about the fact that their work has been adapted into real life? Or what other alien races exist, and what does Earth work in conjunction with that? It's like, none of that matters right now. Let's just tell the story about these actors in this situation. That's it.
That Comic-Con panel announcer, by the way, What animated Disney film, also involving aliens, does he voice a character?
Lilo and Stitch?
Great.
Yep, he's Pleakley.
I didn't hear it, and I was like, wait a second, are we talking about Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, he's Pleakley. That shot on the eye is so cool, too.
Give a big hand.
He's British. Yes.
Jesse, you're really wanting to start with Robin Hood Men in Tights if we're doing Mel Brooks? Like, you can't do it, like, at least classic Brooks first? Come on.
Hey, I like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I do too, but, like, if we're doing Mel Brooks, like, let's start at, like, Young Frankenstein or The Producers. Like,
listen, there's only one person that's a member of this network that can decide what order to watch Mel Brooks movies in.
That's true, it's you.
Is it?
I mean...
Who is it and why, PJ?
It's you because you're Jewish, and he is
Nailed
also
it.
Jewish. It's almost like I knew the answer to that.
Pulling that card. All right, Max. Touche.
Wait, Brandy, you've never seen Lilo and Stitch?
We did a watch along of. Oh, that's before Brandy was hanging.
Yeah, that was right before, to be honest, because that was June-ish, May or June, because that was right after what happened with Stitch happened.
Is that my list, Brandy?
Jesse, Blazing Saddles has aged spectacularly. Do not speak ill of Blazing Saddles. Comic-Con guy, yes, that's who I meant. Thank you, Tim Franco. Also, he was in That 70s Show, and he was fantastic. What a great ending, too, man. Like, this whole ending just feels so earned. And also
that's what they should call the sequel, Galaxy Quest: The Journey Continues.
Yeah. But it also, what's so funny about this is 99, and we hadn't even gotten to when Hollywood was doing, like, we've always done remakes and reboots, but they weren't doing, like, continuations 20 years later of things quite yet, outside of Next Gen. So it's just kind of funny, like...
this movie was so early on the trend.
Yeah, like that nostalgia trend.
Oh,
Guy Fleegman.
That look he gives?
Yeah.
So good. Good old Sammy rocks. I bet he rocks well.
Sam.
Does he wax well, though?
What a movie.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot how razor sharp that movie is. Like,
razor sharp.
To a fine point. Like,
how fine a point?
No, like 2% body fat, Max. 2%. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Like, you want to talk about a movie that, like, takes care of itself and is efficient to an unhealthy degree?
Yes.
Galaxy Quest.
I just could watch this movie on repeat so easily because it's just so enjoyable.
Maxwell by name, Max very well by reputation. Oh, I like that.
Jesse,
pretty good.
Okay, Jesse, I know I told you to keep saying things, but you didn't have to say that.
Listen, we already have enough trouble keeping Max down to earth. We don't need these grand...
I'm just going to go polish my trophies.
Did you want to just sit there, like, cuddling your drama desk award?
I said I'm just going to go polish my trophies.
Listen,
I heard you. That's why I said what I said.
That's a little kind of, like, pretentious of you to, like... And he left. Even though I'm...
So
it's a great poster, though.
We watched Galaxy Quest and things got weird here towards the end, but we made it through. Maxwell's hiding under a blanket like it's Scary Movie 3.
Was that a Michael Jackson reference from that movie specifically?
Yes.
Because you have Halloween to go off of. You have any kind of ghost movie to go off of.
We just watched a spoof movie, though. So I went to the spoof.
PJ, you know how to tie it all together. That's why you're the mastermind behind all this.
I try my best. They just keep going. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Starting with Hogue, what did you think of the movie?
Kind of perfect. Kind of a perfect movie, but also everything we talked about of, that scale of spoof is the wrong word, but parody, but also, this does exist on that line, but I think it really has that heart to it. And it's been brought up many times, but man, do they get Star Trek, and do they have so many deep cuts that only fans would understand, and it isn't afraid to call out the kind of issues with fandom and celebrity culture and kind of obsessing over intellectual properties, but also the value in believing in something and the value of telling stories. And it's as good for the people who are fans of it as it is for the people who make it. And I don't know, that's a very hard line to walk, but this movie just makes it look kind of flawless and doesn't waste a minute, is perfect from beginning to end. Wow. Yeah. Galaxy Quest holds up. I would recommend.
I like where your head's at. What about you, Amber?
I love it. I honestly, I hadn't really seen it. That's funny. Oh,
that's what the world needs right now.
So yeah, I had barely seen it up until this past year in quarantine. So this is yet another movie that I missed until recently. And then I watched it and I was like, this is freaking hysterical. So I love it.
I'm glad I didn't know you just discovered it though. That's kind of dope.
The people in my house were like, you should watch this. This is one of our favorite movies. And I was like, okay.
Well, actually, my parents had never seen it until last year either. I didn't realize, in all the time I'd ever watched it, on VHS and stuff, that they had never watched it with me. So we watched it, and it was fun, man. And yeah,
all these Maxwell Actually shows are killing me in the chat. Call the show Maxwally.
Maxwell, what about you?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get over these assholes in the chat. Max, well, actually, I've been a fan of this movie from the beginning. I saw it in theaters. It's delightfully funny, clever, razor sharp. It's got six-pack abs, no fat on the body, to use Hogue's terms.
2%. 2% fat.
Well, it had one Reese's cup.
Max attack. Say what you got to say.
I like it.
Yeah, this movie's great. Like I kind of said earlier, I think it was ahead of its time. It did a really great job of being very aware of fan culture while being loving to it, but also being sometimes you go too far. But I like that it's a love letter to Star Trek. It's a love letter to sci-fi. It's a love letter to long-running fandoms, Comic-Con. It hits right. And, came out in 99. It's 22 years old now, which is...
Whoa.
God.
Whoa.
But it holds up, and I think a lot of that was the special effects work. There's a lot of miniature work. There's a lot of practical effects, and that goes a long way. It's just a great movie, and I'm so glad that we watched this. It was the kind of pick-me-up happy thing I needed because life has been less picky-uppy lately. So, Maxwell, what a good choice that we made tonight. All right. We got anything going on, or are we just going to get the hell out of here?
Well, I want to note that if you guys follow Tim Sim over on Twitter or Facebook, he hosts a show that's a Schmodown After Show. Myself and Amber, The Insight with Tim Sim, myself and Amber were guests this week talking about our thoughts and predictions on the two upcoming title matches, the IG title match and the team's title match. So check that out. It was a lot of fun. We talk, and then he got mad and we kept talking.
Not to mention, we're going to be on Speaking of Schmodown on Saturday as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We are going to be on Speaking of Schmodown on Saturday.
And I was on POV last night. If you guys haven't checked it out, I went and hung out with the POV crew. We all like them over there. So that's worth checking out.
Now, this is what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and just cut
tomorrow on What the Show with Mikey Deeks. They're doing theme park trivia number 2. I am competing against Chance.
Wait, can you tell me what that was in the thumbnail? What was that? What is that? Do you know?
Looks like Stargate, doesn't it?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That is Poseidon's Fury.
That is Poseidon's Fury at Islands of Adventure.
Stargate.
That's the Vortex.
It makes sense that it's something from a theme park, but it looked like Stargate.
Competing against Chance and Abby Friel and maybe a surprise guest. Who's to say? You never know what happens. That's at 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back on Friday with another glorious watch-along of a film to be announced at a later date. Hogue, where can everyone find you online? What do you have going on?
Well, I'm moving. I'm currently at my mom's place, but we'll soon be in Maxwell's neck of the woods.
And you still won't see him because he doesn't hang out with people.
Listen, I got to get the fruit basket together, and that means visiting a couple farmers markets, and who knows how long that could take. Could take 22 years, since Galaxy Quest released. You can find me at Hogue_filmmaker on Instagram and Twitter. You can check out the latest short film I acted in called Carnivore on Alter's YouTube channel. It's a fun little movie. If you like little kind of Twilight Zone meets Grindhouse, this is right up your alley. I play a fun little villainous role in it, and am really proud of that one. You can check out my work on my Vimeo page. Just check out Patrick Hogue, and I got a couple projects in the work that I'm actually going to be talking about soon that I think is going to be pretty dang cool. And now that I can hopefully have a home soon, I'll be hopping on this here shit show of a network we call a home. But goddamn, do I love it, and I love you guys.
You really just had to go for the dig, though. You were just like,
fuck
you guys, but also I like being here.
Hey, listen, if I'm nothing if not consistent.
That's completely
You are
fair.
consistently inconsistent.
It's true.
I mean, I am the plucky comedic relief of this channel.
Then what is my job?
Yeah, I think you're the Alan Rickman. That sounds about right.
Being extra.
Amber, where can everyone find you?
Oh, here we go. Brace yourselves.
Get fucked, Maxwell. Takara Kanashi, Twitter, Instagram, Stereo, Letterboxd, Twitch. I'm on the Let's Get Ready Network on Tuesdays, 9:30 Eastern. What is it, 6:30 Pacific, doing the gold standard, talking about the FCL. I hang out at Video Drew's channel, and, that's pretty cool. I mod for her. I might have been modding during this show. And I hang out here sometimes. Mine was shorter than Pat's. Thanks.
Well,
all right, hosts.
His is impressive.
What a community. What a community.
You guys know where to find me. Twitter, Instagram, Movie Trivia Schmodown, Nice to the Writers, We're Only Human. That's Maxwell, Cinemaxwell Inc. on Twitter.
He's back. He can talk for himself.
I know. I'm just helping.
I am not Cinemaxwell Inc. on Twitter. I'm just Cinemaxwell on Twitter.
I know.
Cinemaxwell Inc. on Instagram. You can find me here on the PJ Campbell Network, and you can find me competing in the First Class League. I can't tell you when my first match is, but it's not soon.
Roll credits.
Oh, me? Okay. Awkward.
So we can't have nice things.
By Grabhart's Hammer.
This pillow is fucking useless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Box, the exciting show where we open a box and decide if the box rocks or if it's a box full of rocks.
I don't know if this is going to be a good episode.